Hello.
Okay, hello everyone. We've currently got 10 people watching. My exams are now over, so we are back and ready to stream, and I will get rid of my god-awful images off of there. There you go. So today I have got someone very special. He went to the Blockchain Expo in London, and he's here to report back on it, which in my opinion is quite cool that he's taken time out of his day to come talk to us about it. There's a lot of ICO news as well, so everybody please welcome Simon Spalding. Simon, how are you doing?
Hello, James. How you going, mate?
Good, thank you. So first, let's start with the let's start with Ripple because you got some pretty interesting news from Ripple when you were at the expo, right?
Yes, yeah, that's right. It was a Western Union representative. I was stood by the coffee and I saw him and I thought I'd have a quick chat.
Yeah.
And I obviously challenged him about Ripple if there was any news. He he did say that it wouldn't be used at the client side, but
Okay.
he indicated that it would be used on the back end, bank to bank, business to business.
Okay. And you didn't manage to get a lot more out of him, did you?
No,
No.
no. He was after talking to one of the presenters, so he literally fobbed me off and ran off to get another guy to talk to. So
Oh
it
well.
was hard. It was hard to get to talk to the important. They were all networking on a grand scale.
Okay. So it was. Would you say it was more of a networking event for Ripple than anything?
No, for blockchain in general.
Blockchain in
The
general. Okay.
blockchain week. Yeah. That was last year. It was fintech,
Yes.
so bank based and technology. This year it was aimed at blockchain in general, the uses of the technology rather than the coin, the whole ethos.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, it's the different use cases of it. So we spoke briefly the other day, and I told you some things that were
Yes. Yes. Which
quite
we'll
new. Yeah.
move on to in a second. But before we do, I do just want to ask you because you kind of got me into Ripple back in the first place about a year ago. If you just want to, I don't know, you've got some very biased Ripple views, and my opinion used to be, oh, it's not a good coin. But I think
Yeah.
anyone would be happy to hear a very, a sided story to what you think of Ripple. You've been in it a while, you know a lot about it. So what do you think Ripple's predictions are, and how well the company links to the currency as well?
Right. Ripple has a sound, sorry, a sound management team behind it, recognised within other industries. So they've been cherry picking some very high profile people. The the technology is sound as well. Transactions per second, the confirmation time, and its scalability. Uh, Everything about the Ripple from the start, the software has been, from 2013, it's been written for enterprise use. They this ethos about getting rid of the banks and replace that's a stupid. We need to be upgrading the current system. We don't need to be replacing it and burning it and starting afresh. We need to be upgrading and improving on what we have.
Okay.
So the technology offers the ability uh, to do that. Basically, you don't have to own it to use it. Anyone can use it. Ripple are also involved with the W3C. That's for the protocols. www.rpc.net. FTP dot. There'll be one for that. There'll be one called ILP, and
ILP.
that's a
Okay.
Ripple technology. Yeah, the Interledger Protocol.
The what? Sorry.
It's called the Interledger Protocol.
Okay. And what's the purpose of that? Sorry.
So, for example, instead of like on a web browser going www dot, you put ILP dot whatever the domain forward slash their name forward slash the amount, and it would pay them. That's the
Simple as
rough
that.
principle. Simple as that, yeah. And it would use the Ripple layers within XRapid or whatever the layer the bank's using, because there's 3 layers within Ripple, all designed for specific use cases within a global market that we have today.
Okay.
They're not trying to replace what we've got, they're trying to make it better.
Okay. Now, what do you think, briefly before we move on to other things at Blockchain Expo, what do you think of Ripple as a business and the currency when it comes to them releasing news, building up hype? Do you think it actually has a genuine impact, or do you see Ripple as a market cycle kind of coin?
The news they release does have an impact, but there's also a lot of anti-Ripple news that has a bigger effect, I feel, at times.
Okay.
So there is a big community against Ripple.
Yes,
A
the
very big
cripple
one.
community.
Yes, they have been there from the start. And if Bitcoin or any of these other coins have had the news of Ripple, you know, uh, was it Western Union, the recent news? Sorry, my mind's gone blank now.
I think you said Wells Fargo, wasn't it?
Wells Fargo was what at the convention, but didn't they release the update that there was a partnership with Santander and Visa?
Oh yeah. I remember
Yes,
that.
and then there was the recent one with the money wire. Sorry,
Yes, as well,
money
money
wire
wire.
users. If they were all announcements for Bitcoin or Litecoin or Ethereum, they would have gone through the roof. We would be looking at tenfolds of the price that it is now. But because it's Ripple, it seems to encounter a lot of FUD.
Okay. Interesting. I won't say my view because I actually don't really have one at the. No, if I'm honest, I don't really have one at the minute. There's too much for me to really look at. Um, there's a lot
It's,
of TA and FUD, and I'm a very technical analysis sided person,
yeah,
and it's kind of difficult to do it on. It didn't really obey a lot of the TA I suggested
yeah.
earlier.
We're in the Wild West. That's why. And this is why we need regulation. Once
Yeah.
we're in regulation, the TAU that you do will be more applicable because it will fit with everyone else will be doing it. They'll all be using the same standards or working to the same standards. This technical analysis will start to come into its own. At the moment, we're the Wild West. Anything can happen, and it throws the charts out. It throws everything out, especially with Ripple.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so next, what are some of the most interesting things you've found or talked about and, discussed with the people at Blockchain Expo?
Right. There's a couple that caught me interest. Uh, One was B Ethereum. It was a clone, I think, a clone of the Ethereum network, but it was for betting. So
Okay.
smart contract tied up, no middlemen. Obviously, gambling in the Western world is a very big business, and that caught my interest in what they were talking about. As long as they can build the software and the contracts they say they can, it would be very interesting. Very
Okay.
interesting what they're doing there. The next one was Dream Team. That was a gaming platform used for competitions and tournaments. A blockchain. Remember the block event wasn't so much about the coins; it was about the technology and the different use cases for it. So again, I don't think they're going to have a token, but I don't think it's going to be of how can I put this? It's not going to be like Bitcoin in speculation. It's going to be specifically for an industry.
Okay.
So it's going to have credibility by the whole gaming industry is going to go tenfolds in the next 10 years. These games and new consoles, it's going to become Olympic sport at one point. I wouldn't be surprised.
They were. I believe
Yeah,
there was news about that, like the 2022 Olympics, or no, it's
yeah.
2020. I think there isn't actual esports because it's in China again.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. I could see it. It's very skillful, some of these games, and it'll be very big money for the competitions.
It would.
Um, what was the other one? Oh, the GBX. That was the other one. That was the exchange in Gibraltar. And
Yes, GBX. This is important. Okay, talk to
yeah,
me about GBX.
when I spoke to the guys, they just started up, so the
Mhm.
platform is there. It's got reasonable volume, nothing major on there. But because it's a part of the UK, comes under UK regs, they're planning that they're going to become a bank themselves in Gibraltar, an online bank.
Okay.
So that's the exchange will become a bank, and then that will enable users in the UK to send GDP to an exchange in a couple of minutes. No different to send them from a bank account within the UK to another receiver in the UK.
Okay.
So it'll be quick. There'll be none of this 2 days of SEPA, fees all on top everywhere. You'll be able to get your money straight onto the exchanges if they get the regulatory compliances. I can't say that word.
Regulatory compliances. There
Yeah,
you go.
yeah, that's it. You said it for me. So yeah, so I mean there's a lot of other ideas there that were good, but they're the ones that stood out to me the most.
Okay.
It's all about use case, and you know, this is the .com bubble we've got coming up. Lots of brilliant ideas, but only a few are going to survive it.
Re the gaming coins kind of thing. You must have heard about the whole CryptoKitties effect on the Ethereum chain. You know, it
Yes,
overloaded it. So if these
and
gaming
it's not
things
even
don't
popular.
use Ethereum, what do you think they will use, or do you think they will use Ethereum? What do you think the potential is of killing off Ethereum in a sense, if it did come to that?
Well, if CryptoKitty, that's the game you're talking about, if that became popular, I mean, it's not really popular at the moment. It's only sort of known about within the community. But if it went mainstream, that would kill the Ethereum off within a blink of an eye. They would have to take a clone and run it separately on its own clone
Okay.
because there's no way of scaling until they get from proof of work to proof of stake, which isn't an easy task for the Ethereum team.
Yeah.
They ain't going to be able to scale it. So, but from my personal view, I see Ethereum as being more of a bespoke system installed in companies
Okay.
rather than an international platform. Does that make sense? That
No, it does. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. Well, unless you've got anything else that you found of interest.
no, no. It was. I mean, there was one other. If anyone's interested, they've even put escort agencies on a blockchain for the first time as well.
If you're talking about Spank Chain, yes, I'm part of a group that is very, very positive
Anything,
on Spank Chain. Yes.
anything can be done on it. So it is going to revolutionise the world, but I don't think we're going to be flooded with hundreds of different coins. A lot of these ideas don't actually need the coinage to go with it.
Yeah.
They just use the technology. So it is interesting times. Very interesting.
Okay, well, thank you, Simon, for coming on the show. We've got same amount of viewers, not a lot of people talking though, but I'm sure everyone found it interesting. And of course, this will be
Oh,
uploaded to YouTube as well if you ever want to watch it back. So, thank you very much.
not a problem, James. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Have a good night.
And you, mate. All right, speak later.
Bye
Bye.
bye. So, I hope you all enjoyed that. I wanted to go to Blockchain Expo myself, but I couldn't because of my mock exams. So, in the end, well, Simon is a close friend of mine. He's also a Ripple expert, so I thought, okay, I'll see if I can get him to come on the show and briefly talk to it about you guys. And again, this will be uploaded to YouTube if you want to watch it back. Now, before we move on to the usual technical analysis side of the evening, I've got another person on stream for you, one of my ICO friends, and He's going to talk to you about ICOs
Oh man, that
midstream.
was way louder than I expected.
uh, Dingus, is that how I call you on stream? Is this how I address you? Technical difficulties, I'm guessing.
No, no, no.
Oh, okay.
I can hear you now. Also
Okay.
forgot that I had pushed the talk on because I'm an idiot.
Oh, okay. Right, so you want to talk about some ICOs, I'm gonna guess. So, what are your top picks at the minute?
So I feel like we've had a lot of good stuff recently. Um, I think especially with the market right now, that ICOs are probably going to see a little bit of an uptick in just overall participation. Um, as for ICOs going on right now, I have some notes here.
Okay.
Let's see. So, uh, right now, I'm invested in uh, first off Napoleon X.
No, no, what? Sorry, Napoleon X.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
Mega Man X except like French.
Okay, and what's that about?
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
What's Napoleon X about?
Uh, it's an ERC20 token.
Yeah, but is there anything to it? Or is it just a token?
Wait, these things do stuff?
Fuck's sake, fucking
Okay,
troll.
all right, yeah, okay.
Jesus.
So,
Mm.
so basically, what Napoleon X is about is it's aiming to be the world's first crypto asset manager.
Okay.
It basically wants to sort of legitimize the sort of the amount of crypto investment solutions. It wants to take them, legitimize them, reduce volatility for the overall field, and they've got pretty solid groundwork. Like they're already regulated in the EU. Uh, they've got a pretty solid roadmap. I actually like their white paper. Believe it or not, people do read those.
They really should read them more. There's a lot of blindsided. Oh, look at this. This looks pretty great.
Yeah. No, and that's I'm gonna go on a little bit of a tangent here, but like I I'm kind of baffled at the amount of people who are willing to put um I mean like a decent amount of money into these things, into these projects without knowing a single thing about them other than, oh hey, someone on YouTube told me this is fantastic.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's basically BitConnect in a nutshell, really, isn't it?
Oh boy, yeah. Hey, speaking of great ICOs, BitConnect X, can't miss that one. I've heard a
Wait,
lot about it.
no, no, that's not a thing, is it?
Uh, well,
Oh,
yeah.
why?
Their their website actually doesn't have working buttons right now.
Wait,
Uh,
do these go?
the,
No, they do.
do
The
they still
buttons
not do
work.
anything?
No, 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 I can sign up. I mean, I don't want to, but I can.
Okay, because like I would say a week ago, none of the buttons did anything.
This
It
is
was
this
just a
this is your typical ICO without a product. This is yeah. Does your ICO have a product? Yes. Then it's probably a scam. Does your ICO have a product? No. Then it's probably still a scam. So what the fuck is
yeah.
this? Sorry, I'm gonna go off on a tangent here. Because why does this exist? What's the point?
Well, I mean, the actual point of it was to it was part of the exit scam for BitConnect essentially.
Oh really?
Um, yeah, they're also using it as a way to incentivize people not to dump the remainder of their BitConnect coins.
Okay.
I believe someone in the BitConnect development team uh, said that you could use a BitConnect token to essentially uh, it would equal like $150 in Bitcoin if you used it for the BitConnect X ICO.
Oh wow, that's
So
scummy.
I Yeah, I don't know if that's actually true or not, but it's one of the things, aside from complete disbelief and desperation, that's holding the BitConnect token price above like a nickel.
Holding the BitConnect token at something worth.
Uh, gosh,
Okay,
but
right. Sorry, do you have something more to say about Trash Connect bad?
um, not necessarily about BitConnect, but we we have seen a lot of great ICOs recently, and we had a bunch of people, especially people that you and I know from the Discord we frequent, who got burned by Confido,
Yeah.
and I think I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but we actually recently had one of, I think, I would guess the like a bigger scam ICO come out. It wasn't as hyped as Confido was, but God, what was that called?
Um. Oh, I can't remember. Tron? Was it Tron? I mean,
No, it was not Tron.
I'm,
It
I'm
was
pulling names out of a hat here.
it was something to do with education or something, and basically the team had their the pictures they were using were copied from like some boys' school or something like that. The entire thing
Oh,
fell apart. I know a bunch of people on the God One's crypto channel had invested in it, and unfortunately they lost a decent amount. So just a reminder to people to do your due diligence. I know everyone touts doing your own research, but it really, really is important. No matter how good an ICO looks, like think of Confido, like think of how valuable that token was before, they exit scammed there. It was huge. And just if you're gonna do this sort of stuff with ICOs, you need to be able to take a hit. Like if something goes wrong and the devs exit scam, it sucks. It's not your fault, but you don't want this to be something that can completely ruin you.
okay. Right. Back to your list of ICOs and not talking about why they're bad.
Yeah, but no. So yeah, I really like Napoleon X. I've heard a decent amount about it. I went through the Know Your Consumer process. It was really smooth. Got verified pretty quickly. I think it's a solid project. Honestly, I
It does.
wasn't planning on being here today, so I don't know enough about it to like
That's
chill
okay.
hardcore.
But it looks
But
pretty nice. I mean, the website's pretty decent. It's all laid out well. I mean,
it
it was
has working buttons.
yeah. It was like that John McAfee tweet where he was like, "Oh, if you shouldn't just doubt a website if it's got bad spelling on it because they could just be, somewhat illiterate." And I was just like, "Well, that's why you shouldn't trust it, because why do they have someone illiterate working on their website? What's the point? Why would you
Yeah,
hire
yeah.
someone who can't physically read or write to make a website for you?"
Yeah, and I mean to be fair, that has sort of gone. Some projects have had pretty poor spelling and ended up being like very good. Like I
True.
remember like like nulls, which is I believe a blockchain enterprise solution out of China. A good friend of mine, Alex, he's written some pretty good articles on Medium.com.
Oh, Lex, I
Uh,
should shill him now.
way ahead of you, my friend. But
I need a
he,
link to put on the
yeah,
screen.
he was very big on the project. He was talking to a lot of people about it, and I remember looking at this website and just being like, what is this? Like, there's like a couple words. Their entire GitHub was like all basically like null, like I get it, and
Ah.
it. Oh my god, it was a disaster. There were a bunch of misspellings everywhere, but then they turned out to be a very good, legitimate project, and the coin has gone up ever since.
Well, I mean, I guess it sounds valid, ish. Right. Anyway, back
Yeah.
to your icos. So what's your next ico? Napoleon X. What's next?
Okay, so next, I know this is sort of a like a controversial pick, which is completely fair. But I'm actually going to be investing a small amount in
Oh.
Daddy as well. Oh man, is am I is
No,
that bad? Jeez.
it's the way you fucking said it. I'm
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be investing some in Daddy.
I mean, everyone who doesn't like investing in Daddy.
Okay,
All right,
stop.
Dottie. I don't know, but yeah,
It was just so. The way you said it
dads
sounded
are
so
dads
creepy.
are great.
That I mean, depends where you're from, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, your dad invested in you by, you know, having you. So I
What?
think that's pretty cool. Okay, but no, but actually, okay. So for those people who aren't in the know, Dottie is it's aiming to be a global decentralized cloud platform. They're focusing on the provision of web services that help you, sort of like build, scale, and then, grow your own digital products. Um, there was a lot of positive hype about this ICO for some time. I know Ian Bellino was very big on it, as well as a couple other big YouTubers. So a lot of articles about it on Medium. Everything was going pretty well. But unfortunately, it seems that the team had, well, I mean, they plagiarized. They had plagiarized parts of uh, their white paper. Parts of the actual white paper were basically copy and pasted directly from Sonam's white paper, to the point where one of the Sonam devs called out the Dottie devs. People, did their due diligence and, found a couple parts in the white paper where they were basically copy and pasted from other white papers. The team came out and sort of apologized for it. And basically, since then, what was once really hyped has gone under the radar. So, my thinking about this is, ICOs are risky prospects. You
Yeah.
like Ian Bellino says in all his videos, like investing in these, you could literally just lose all your money, and that's obviously, as we talked about earlier, that's happened to some people.
BitConnect.
Big connect.
Fucking love that guy.
Yeah. Oh, Carlos, you're great. Never change. But
Don't
so
apologize. You meant no wrong. It's okay.
so my sort of rationale behind investing in Dottie is that um the team messed up. It's plagiarism is not a good look anywhere. That's the sort of thing that gets you kicked out of a university. It's the sort of thing that loses you jobs. And they're probably going, well, I would assume they're going to probably sell less of their overall token supply. Maybe they won't sell everything, which I don't know. I guess looking at the pre-sale that happened, they'll probably still sell out, but I think less people will be interested in the project as a whole, which actually gives the project a little bit more room to grow on its own fundamentals rather than referral links and hype and all this other garbage that they had really been getting mileage off of. I think that the fact that the team is still around and they're still committed to this project really shows that they learned something from this whole white paper debacle, and that they want to make it up to the people who have invested in them and really want to put out a good product and a solid project moving forward.
I mean, I'm just on their website now, and it's up on stream as well. They've got some really good partnerships. You've got Whatcar on there, Virgin Limited Edition. I still
Right.
think it's a
Yeah.
good coin, but like every white paper, they're a pain in the ass to read, and they seem to be a pain in the ass to write. A lot of them are very similar, so well, they are. If you read loads of ICOs, they are very similar, and I think it's not just the point of, oh, everyone's plagiarizing each other. It's the point of blockchain, no matter where you go to what coin, it doesn't change massively. It's what the underlying stuff you can do with it is, but to us, putting that in the white paper would just be confusing, so they kind of dumb it down a bit.
Right. I mean, to be fair, the plagiarism in the version of the white paper that uh, was sort of uh, combed over was kind of blatant.
Yeah,
Um, I know some people also had the same problem with Tron. I actually never went and verified those claims. I saw some people on Twitter who were comparing Tron's white paper to other white papers and saying that they were similar. But in my case, I actually looked at Sonam's white paper and Dottie's white paper, and I was just like, all right, yeah, they kind of messed up here.
okay. I mean, again, they kind of apologize. They're still around, and no one seems too pissed off now. So, yeah, good ICO, I'd say, or good coin.
Okay, yeah, and I have one more I would like to talk about a little bit. Let me grab my notes here about it.
Oh, they have a Twitter. Let me follow that shit.
All right, so the last one I'm going to go over is one that I've actually passed on.
Oh,
I
okay.
still think it's an all right project, and I might take a look at it after it comes out of ICO or some exchanges. The project is called Zero Chain. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
Um, no, I haven't actually. I'll bring it up on screen while you do your thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, they're trying to create a new blockchain protocol uh,
Is this
that.
the Bitcoin is not private stuff?
What's that? Sorry?
Um, is it like Bitcoin is not private, zero cash, the protocol that succeeded zero coin is being developed under a full-fledged
No, 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 no.
digital. Wait, that's just Zcash. What the fuck?
That's.
Wait. Um, huh.
No, like if you're looking it up, just type like the number zero and then chain, not like
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Zero. I don't. Wait, what? When working with banking websites, would you? Okay, my antivirus just asked me to use its own browser because apparently Zero Coin is a banking website.
Are you
Okay.
sure you're on the right thing?
No, I am almost I got distracted by it. Zero chain. There we go, not zero coin. Um, yes. Okay, continue. Sorry.
No, it's no problem, no problem. So yeah, it's basically aiming to be a like zero cost cloud for like IoT, web, enterprise apps, dApps, stuff like that. Um, they're basically trying to make it so that people can move their codes and their data off chain to their blockchain for like free computing and storage, essentially. Uh, the reasons I passed on this one, um, first off,
Pajeets.
they're no, no, no. So the first thing was that their project is a little ambitious, and that's not necessarily a negative in ICOs, but realistically, when I was looking over this, it seems like a lot of their goals are very, very, very far out, and are also just what's the word?
uh,
They're just very far fetched. Like they part of their sales pitch essentially on their new blockchain protocol is that they have infinite scalability through parallel chains, concurrent threads, and stuff like that. But uh, in one of the posts I was reading about this, someone basically was like, "Hey, this isn't like actually possible. It's not possible to have infinite scalability no matter how many parallel chains you have."
Okay.
And yeah, and so after looking at the white paper, like I said, a lot of their goals are very far out. Uh, their team isn't exactly uh, what I would be looking for in such an ambitious project, which is, once again, we've seen some relatively unknown teams put out some amazing work in this space, but when you're looking to do something like these guys are, I feel like you might want to have your team be a little more like on point or have a little more experience in the space, I suppose. The main thing though is that the way they're distributing their tokens, it's they're distributing them over the course of a very long time, and getting tokens essentially every month for such an ambitious project that doesn't really have a working product yet that could, realistically go under at any point, it doesn't sit well with me. I would, I like the opportunity that, ICOs give in that, hey, if this project ever goes to hell, like, if you have your stuff on an exchange and you have a stop loss set, then like you're not completely screwed. But for this, when you're getting the coins out over time, I believe it's over like a period of like a couple months to a year. Uh, just not having a safety net and not having all the assets that you're paying for right away just kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, I mean, I've already, while listening to you, found a red flag. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I'll send you some screenshots as well, just so you kind of get the gist of it.
Oh jeez. Yeah. So basically, what you sent me here. So
This is a detailed graph of how to analyze if your ICO is a scam or not.
yeah. So like I said, they don't have a working product, but what you also pointed out is that they are looking for and hiring outstanding protocol and blockchain engineers to join their team.
Because ours
So
aren't good enough. We can't actually do our own
well,
project. Help us,
it doesn't
please.
even it doesn't even necessarily mean that the people on their team aren't talented. It just like they don't have enough of them. Like if you're gonna use ICO funds to hire people, like you shouldn't be doing an ICO yet. You should like seek some other method of funding, and people will be a lot more eager to contribute if you have like actual employees.
Yeah.
Like, and I guess that just shows me that even though I passed on this, I didn't do enough work looking into this. And once again, that's the thing I really stress the most is to do your due diligence when you're looking at ICOs, and also even if you really like a project, find something to be critical about. There is no project that doesn't have a red flag of some sort. There is, no 100% amazing guaranteed project.
Stella.
Everything can really. All right, you got me. But just like as far as ICOs are concerned, like there's always going to be something off, and if you really want to make sure that your investment is in good hands, find something about the project that like ticks a box off for you, because if you find something like that and you've searched and searched and searched and finally find something, that probably means that you've done your research.
Yeah.
And a lot of people look at these things and they're just like, oh, you know what? Everything looks great. I skimmed over the white paper. Uh, the website hasn't downloaded a Trojan on my computer in the 5 minutes that I've been on it. So hey, you know what? All in.
Yes, that is the only logical way to go about deciding your investments. Has it put a virus on my computer in the first 5 minutes? No. Has it done it in the first 6 minutes? Yes. But that means it's past 5 minutes, so now I must invest.
Yeah, let's be real. Most people don't look at ICO pages for 5 minutes.
No, it's. I mean, I've tried to read a white paper today because there was like something I wanted to talk about, but even I haven't managed to get through that. They're just so lengthy, dude.
Yeah, a lot of them are lengthy, and I'll be honest, I don't know 100% of the tech well enough to like really get in depth and evaluate these things, completely.
Yeah.
Um, I know that a lot of ICOs are starting to put out what they call light papers now, which is basically they talk about like the mission statement of their ICO. They get into some of the technical detail, but they sort of, spoon feed it to you and don't get into like the absolute nitty gritty details. But then they'll have a technical white paper as well, where the people who are really into the space and really understand the technology intimately can sort of delve into it and just go over everything that your average ICO investor might not even know a whole ton about.
Okay. Do you have any more ICOs to talk about?
Honestly, no. Nothing at the moment. I guess for ICOs, actually, yeah, sure. Um, just want to talk about two projects. I know that Zilica right now is on Ether Delta
What now?
and Zilica,
How do I spell that?
Zilliqa. It's a really hyped ICO. Uh, it's basically a new blockchain platform that's designed to scale in a sort of open, permissionless, distributed network securely. And the big thing about them is that Silica is scalable due to sharding, which is essentially dividing the network into several smaller component networks, which are called shards. And all of these are capable of processing transactions in parallel. So if you want to go and if you've been interested in that project, I know a lot of people have, that one is on Ether Delta right now.
Well, I mean, I like the look of it, but it still feels like someone illiterate meant to spell zebra and instead facepalm on keyboard.
Yeah, I was looking up information on this ICO a while back, and it took me a couple minutes to figure out how to spell it. I'm kind of an idiot.
They're based in Singapore. Just
Yeah, they actually.
in case you wanted to know.
Yeah, most of their team who were involved in the project from early on actually moved out to Singapore to work on the project.
Interesting place for headquarters.
Yeah, I mean, I believe Singapore doesn't have as many like regulations as other places in Asia do, which is why a lot of people who are doing like ICO projects and cryptocurrency projects like that have like offices there, or that's where they run their operations out of.
I mean, I've just joined their Telegram and they have a lot of members. A lot.
Yeah, I I don't know how many they have now, but uh, they had a couple thousand uh, when I was in it a couple like a month or two back. What are they on now?
15,208.
Ooh, man. Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Look, Bitcoin Bravado literally just hit 3,000 members. Literally.
Oh, okay.
Literally.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
They skyrocketed up. Sorry, just Jesus.
No.
Bitcoin Bravado.
Yeah, I'm a
hell.
big fan of them. I'm subscribed to their VIP newsletter, which comes out like around the beginning of every month. Speaking of Bravado, a lot of the the guys behind that project are really big on Twitter,
Yeah.
and I'm not sure if it was all of them, but I know at least two of them. CryptoGat did this as well as Peripheral. Uh, they changed their Twitter handles to their actual names
Okay.
and switched their Twitter icons to actual pictures of them in order to just promote more transparency since they're getting bigger.
Yeah. Hmm.
And I felt like that was like kind of a cool move for them because usually when people get really into cryptocurrency, especially, people on social media, they don't like want their actual identities, out there on the platform. You never know, like we've we've seen people get hacked and stuff like that. And just the fact that they're doing this to sort of show people like, hey, look, we're legitimate. Uh, you can trust us. I think it was just like a nice little show of faith from them. And while I know everyone isn't interested in doing something like that, I think it shows a lot of I don't know, it's just a good thing. So shout outs to CryptoGat and Peripheral for doing that. I think it's pretty cool.
I mean, I doubt he's watching the stream. This is the quietest stream I've ever had. 6 viewers. Shit.
Well, I mean, look, if two of them right there, they're there.
that, yeah, 2 of them are me, because I'm having to watch.
Oh, alright, I'll cut that part out and post.
I don't have editing somewhere. It just live uploads to it because I can't be asked to buy any. That's too much effort, okay? I already have to do A levels and homework and college work and shit. When I go on here and fucking prepare my stream, I can't do all of that.
I know, right?
Also, I just sent you a screenshot of that because I was just looking at it and it touched the 382 on the monthly so perfectly. It's so ripe and lovely. I feel like the next candle is guaranteed green.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I can see it happening. I want to look at it on the one day as well. Oh fuck, no, don't do this to me, Bitcoin. Oh shit, no. What the fuck's this?
You know what you should really take a look at that I feel like a lot of the viewers have been talking about and requesting is this really ambitious, resilient, honest, beautiful project.
Don't say it. Don't fucking say it.
What is it called? That's it. Packcoin.
Ha ha. Ha. Fucking stop! I swear to God. I fucking hate that shit.
Well, what's wrong with Packcoin besides the fact that it's literally worth nothing?
It's disgusting. I hate it. Have you been in there? Have you been? What coins are I covering next? None, if I'm honest. I'm kind of just gonna. No, I'm just gonna do Bitcoin and piss off back to my hovel. Right. How do I get to Cryptopia by googling it? Yes. Right. I want to go here because then you go to exchange, you click fucking Doge pair, and you find Patcoin. Now Patcoin.
Aren't there Doge pairs
still
shut down?
No. Oh yeah, but okay, that's not my point. I don't. No, I want to. That's not my point. I don't care if that's how it is. So one Patcoin is worth 0.0178 of a Doge coin. Okay.
Oh boy.
So let's calculate its Bitcoin value. So Doge is worth 66 Satoshi. Okay. And then we divide that by 0.0178. That's not probably what I meant to do. I'm not good at maths, right? 66 times 0.0178, and you get 1.174. That doesn't. I don't think that helps.
Some great technical analysis.
I'm trying to prove why it's a bad coin. If you could bear with me, that'd be great.
You could. Okay, so Do you remember when people were on Cryptopia essentially trying to double their money with this thing?
Yeah, I remember being in the cesspit that is Patcoin Discord.
Yeah, just like so for people watching that don't know, when Cryptopia disabled their Litecoin and Dogecoin markets, they brought a couple of the more requested markets onto Bitcoin pairs, and Patcoin uh, was selling for or trading for 1 Satoshi because that's literally the lowest it can go for. So
We proved
what
that
people were
wrong.
doing is that they were they were buying in at 1 Satoshi and then essentially putting up a sell order after they bought for 2 Satoshi and going around and telling people like, oh man, like check this out. If you buy this thing for 1 sat and then like just sort of wait until all the other 2 sat orders get sold and then yours gets sold, you just double your money, man. Like how crazy is that? Oh my god, you can just double your money and then you could probably do it again, and then just maybe some more times, and yeah, a lot of people got fucked pretty hard.
um, right. You've just tricked me into doing Patcoin TA, by the way, which I hate you for so
That's
much. Um,
I know.
I hate it. I've always wanted to invest in Corgi Coin, if I'm
Corgi
honest.
coin, huh?
Yeah. It's no longer a Bitcoin pair because it's technically. I don't actually know what it is. Also, Patcoin's website is still trash. It looks like it's built straight out of Squarespace, and I don't care if I built my website straight out of Squarespace. It's fucking shit. Look at it. Look at it. It's
Oh,
terrible. The 4 C's. Crap. Um. Crap. Yeah. Oh no, it's choice, content, community, and charity.
oh, but see, look, they're great.
How about cancer? That's all that Discord is.
I think that's a little offensive to cancer. Relating that disease to Patcoin is pretty harsh.
Patcoin stands for People's Alternative Choice. We could just change the choice to cancer.
Does
People's
it does it
Alternative Cancer.
does it really? People's alternative choice.
Yes.
You have the alternative choice of taking all your money and throwing it in the fucking garbage instead of doing anything else you could.
I fucking hate it.
God,
It's so shit.
did you ever watch that video of uh I think the YouTube channel is like JR Business or something, where these like I think they're actually like 17, but like a bunch of these kids who look like they're like preteens are just like, hey, dude, we just bought like 1 million Pat coins. This is like the the hottest and cheapest crypto out there. My guy,
I bought
and
100 million of this cryptocurrency coin, up 500% profit.
yeah, it's just like, yeah, we've clearly seen how good it is in the crypto space to take investment advice from 17-year-olds. I mean, you got Crypto Nick, that went well for everyone who listened to him.
MCFX.
Fantastic guy. Well, he's hey. No,
Right.
no bully, all right.
Sorry, I've already had my share today. I have to wait till next week.
Yeah, we're just jealous that his voice is way manlier than both of ours.
Yeah,
Like,
I
let's
know,
be
right?
real.
And then you've got
But yeah,
Sandwich, who's like the inverse, and it's all what
oh,
the
I
fuck,
couldn't believe that. I'm convinced that they just logged on to the other person's uh Discord account and we're just completely screwing with us.
um. Oh yeah, that's what I meant to look at. I want to look at Corgi Coin's website. You got me distracted and sent me to Pack's website. Oh, it's .co.uk. Oh, look, you thought. Wow, okay, I'm already not liking this. This is some really bad grammar shit.
Or are you bearish on Corgi Coin now?
You can't be bearish on Corgi Coin. It's not worth anything. You can't be bearish on something that has nothing to be bearish on. It's not possible. It's literally worth 0.04 of a Dogecoin.
What is isn't there a name for like percentages of a Dogecoin? What is it, like sub-Atoshi or something like that?
Wow, Atoshi, that's what it should be.
Oh my God, Sam.
What is the Corgi Faucet? The fuck is all this shit? I don't understand. I'm trying to get
Yeah,
to his Corgi. I'm
we
getting
should
off topic, but I'm enjoying this.
we should fork this.
I don't know.
Wow. So I think all this Corgi coin FUD is really getting to you, man.
Suggest on stream. I don't want to read the Discord shit. So
Well, I
right,
can just read it. All right. So
no,
we've
I
got
I just read it. Do not repeat back. Right, okay, fine. I will go back to what I originally wanted to talk about. I found multiple TAs on Bitcoin, and I wanted to look at them all briefly. Okay.
Oh, it sounds wonderful.
Yeah, it is. So I found this one, which is bearish, and he was wrong. I don't have a lot to say about that. This graph was pretty shit, actually. Next one, he thinks it's gonna go down to what does he see? He sees 8,500. I mean, or way out one, which is we go up now, which is possible. But if not, we keep going down. So we'll see what happens with that. Kind of like this graph, but he isn't pro. We don't know how good he is. You know, you got to
what
buy
is
that
the
premium trading view.
what is the time frame on that? Is that the
Uh,
hourly?
is that an hour? Yeah, that's an hourly.
Okay, yeah. All right.
I mean, I can deal with an hourly.
Yeah. I know there are a lot of people who are pushing for the $8,500 figure. I feel like it's almost kind of a meme by now. Like even if they're right, just like I log on Twitter and it's just like a million people I've never seen tweet anything. They're just like, "Yep, 8,500 BTC, bruh. You ready, bruh? Put your buyers in, dude."
It's
Just
under
like
it's under
shout
9,000.
out, yeah, you know, join my join my paid Telegram that has one other person in it, dude.
Just it's a bot. Okay, what's this? So this guy says currently bearish 100 TEMA acting as a strong resistance. RSI on the daily getting close to 30, 200 TEMA strong support. And to be short-term bullish, close beyond the white line, and then the rest you can't see because he's hidden. Oh no, you can see it. Increase in bull volume. Is there though? I mean, that just looks like regular Bitcoin volume to me. Anyway, this is on a daily. The
Yeah.
next candle's red and is somewhat out of his little white line, so we'll see what that does. I'm not suggesting any of these are right, by the way. I just went on to trading before. Let's look at some of this shit. Right, okay.
Yeah.
This
Okay. Yeah.
Bitcoin buy signal. Volume buy at 12k. Well, this is a brilliant graph. It's just a fucking line. I mean, what is
Dude,
this
look
shit?
at that line go from down to up.
This line goes. Wait, where did it go? What? I wanna look at the line. How long is this line? Where does
Oh,
it go?
it looks like the line went down.
It goes from like $11,937
Oh,
to
it just keeps disappearing.
$1,218 over like the span of several thousand months and years. That's a
I
bad
would join
graph.
this person's paid Telegram. I'm just saying.
That's it. Oh, his name
For
is.
top news, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe
No,
for more
subscribe to me. What the fuck?
disappearing red lines.
No.
Yeah.
Get rid of
All
that
right.
shit.
Anyways, next up.
Okay, this is Nebel. I don't know why I wanted to look at this, but I do. Well, that didn't play out very well, did it?
What's that?
This guy was like, Nebel's about to break out. I mean, it kind of played out, but then it just went down. Actually, it played out
Okay.
pretty damn well.
Hmm.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I guess we could. Oh yeah, it looks like it spiked pretty hard. I think I remember looking at that as it was happening. Uh, yeah, it looks like it broke out a little bit and then got rejected at the .236 kind of retrace since then. Uh, looks like there was a lot of volume on those couple candles, which doesn't really give me a super good feeling on it.
It just seems like a very coordinated pump and dump. Maybe this guy led it. Juan Pai is a
Yeah,
pump and dumper.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know if Wanpai has the role for that one.
Okay. Let's move on, cause he's
Yeah.
boring me. No, no, I did not mean that. Fuck. I was squeezing my iPhone and I just made it start calling emergency SOS. You just hear a
Oh God.
siren. Right. This is Neo. Um. How did this
Uh.
play out? Okay. So this guy thinks that it's gonna do the exact same thing as it did last time. I mean, it could happen. Not gonna lie, it could. But oh wait, is it? No, that's not a big green spike. That's a big green border. I was about to say, when did Neo get?
Yeah. Right.
What the fuck? No, it didn't. It didn't go up that high. It's oversold. The MACD is still coming up, as though here, it wasn't up at all. So I think this is just like a 1-2 wave. So I'm going to disagree with his analysis. What do you think, Dangus?
Uh. Hmm. I don't know. I hold a decent amount of Neo myself. Uh. It's sort of come back up from where it was tapering off a little bit, but I've been expecting a little bit of a drop myself. Not nothing too substantial. Maybe like I don't know, like sub 0.01. But I mean, it just hasn't happened yet. I think the one thing about Neo is that it's relatively stable. You're not gonna, you know, just see the price completely tank, for no reason. Uh, I really don't know enough to say whether it's gonna go up or down. It's a solid hold though.
Okay. Finally, I found one interesting graph of GBP versus USD. I don't know. I found this
Okay, I'm
really
actually
entertaining.
interested in this. Go
Yeah.
for it.
Well, the guy just made this fucking graph on the daily, 4 hour, and the hourly, and
What?
yeah, he got it spot on. I mean, look at this shit. He was ready.
So this is the okay, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, this guy knows his
So,
shit. I'm quite
Jesus.
impressed by this. It just means that I can now buy your stupid American products a lot cheaper.
Yeah, the dollar's been doing really poorly lately.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you know what I love though? When Tether goes up by 3 cents a day.
oh my God, did you see that article on like CNBC or whatever the other day? They're just like, oh, like all these cryptocurrencies dumped. There was one lone survivor. It's called Tether.
Uh,
And they were shilling Tether in
you
a
can't shill
fucking
Tether.
article. It's like look at this thing. It like kept all of its gains during this crazy dump cycle. Like this
Mm,
thing's really resilient, ain't it, huh?
I can
Shut
feel
the fuck up.
the autism in the air. I can feel it. That is disgusting.
They, I feel like these old people just probably go into like the CNBC office wherever they're at and just like hey, you've used a printer before, right? Like yeah, all right, cool. Come talk about cryptocurrency. Write an article for us.
Okay,
It's like if
right.
you can. Oh
Sorry, I'm
God.
gonna have to cut you off. My mum wants to go to bed early, so right, let's do some short coins. So, in my opinion, Bitcoin could go more bearish on the 1 week because of this little magic ribbon indicator I've been relying on. Whenever it dips slightly, it tends to go green for a while, so we could see it come up to 14k, but I think that'll be a fake out, and it could go down. And also, the cloud on this is ridiculously weak. I mean, what is this shit?
Yeah,
Multi-year
we
bear
really.
market might happen. I mean, this is just not okay. Look at this.
Yeah,
Look at
we
this.
don't have a ton of support. Well, I mean, obviously, as far as the cloud is concerned, I don't think we're gonna you know, break through on the weekly time frame or anything. God, I hope not. But
We've broken through the daily.
I
Ugh.
mean, yeah, that's been a work in progress.
And although on the daily though, it could basically what this ribbon does is when you see a little bit of red, it always tells you that there's gonna be more red in the future.
Right.
So like here, this didn't really count because you didn't get it happen again within the same time frame. As though here you got it there, and then you got it there a little bit more, and then it's like, now it's fully red. It's basically a bunch of moving averages. It's called the Madrid Magic something ribbon, and I like it. And also, if you look on the sniper, it tells you to sell. Oh, it did tell you to sell Bitcoin. Now it's
Ooh.
not. Ooh.
Ooh, at 30K in March or whatever.
That's just maybe. I don't like all this 100k Bitcoin TA.
Yeah.
Tone agrees with your 14k. Shut up, Lex. Fucking jackass. Right. Okay. So let's now do ETC Bitcoin. This is wait. Is it only on Binance? I don't really want to do it on Binance. There's not a
Why
lot of
not?
data because there's no data. I can't do it.
It's on like Bittrex, isn't it?
Yeah, I can now. I didn't see it. It's just I don't want to
Or
do it
the
on Binance.
the People's Exchange Kraken.
Uh, fuck off. No. So yeah, from what I can say, if we use my little magic ribbon indicator here again, okay, we can make this larger. So you see, you got some green here, and it kept going green, and then you got a bit more red here, but then you knew it was gonna turn around because of this, okay? So then it came all the way up, and that's when Ethereum Classic was worth a lot. When you got like stupidly thin cloud, and then it lost support. So what I think is the same thing is gonna happen here. What you've had is this little bit of green again, and then a lot
Hmm.
of red. It's almost exactly the same. So judging by that, if we go by time frame basis, okay, you've also got a perfect Elliott wave setup happening here. You've got a 1, 2, 3,
Uh,
4, 5 kind of shit going on there.
yeah, it really looks like it's doing a solid job of pushing through the cloud here, and it looks like it's picking up a little bit in volume on the daily as well.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, a lot of volume actually. Shit.
Yeah, like
What the
look
fuck?
at it, like back in like October and even like going into November, there was almost nothing.
There was. Um, so time frame wise, what? That's 3rd of. Wait, what? No, that's 12th of March to the 19th of June. But again, you could probably margin trade and short this pretty well. Also, again, ribbon indicator here. You got a tiny bit of red here, but it was cancelled out, but that still told you red was coming in the future. That's why I
Hmm.
like this indicator so much. It's really good. Um,
And we also have the hard fork coming up for this, don't we?
ah yeah.
Right, yeah. So that's like another thing that could propel the price higher, of course.
Okay. Finally, let's look at ICX quickly, which is on Binance, and I apparently made a tiny little squiggle there. I don't know what that means. I don't know what I did. Okay, great. I love it when there's no cloud. Uh, 2, 6, 12, 3. Hmm. Yes, helpful. Right, hang on. Gotta fucking get rid of some of this shit. Get rid of volume as well. Okay, so the cloud is clearly ridiculously strong support for it. This is a slightly modified cloud, but it's still valid, okay? There's just not that much data to go on. I'll go on to the 12 hour. Yeah, it's clearly got a hell of a lot of support coming from the cloud. I'm really sad because I had ICX when it was worth 1,000 and I
Oh,
sold it at
jeez.
1,500. I was like, oh, that was a pretty sweet gain. And now I'm like, huh. You know?
Can't win them all, I suppose.
Can't win any. Fucking gonna end my life. Kill yourself, coin. Yeah. Anyway, that is all I have time for. You got anything you want to say?
Nope, that's it. Thank you for having me on. It's a lot of fun.
That's
Appreciate
okay.
it.
You want to come on next time?
Yeah, maybe if I'm around.
Alright, sure, sure, sure. Sounds good, you know. Gonna
All right, take care, everyone. Be safe,
put.
and don't lose all your money, I guess.
Did you see the magic parrots on my stream?
Yeah, I did. I fucking hate them. All right, see you later.
See